Avon and Somerset police have launched an investigation into a hate crime because a pig's head was left in public view in an alleyway. Now, I do hope I don't drop any steak flavoured crisps. I might upset a vegetarian. Now, I get steak crisps and a pig's head are subtly different, but just because it's a pig's head doesn't mean it's a bloody hate crime. A hate crime, according to the Crown Prosecution Service, is any crime if the offender demonstrated hostility based on race, religion, disability, sexual orientation or transgender identity, or any crime that was motivated by the same hostility. Now, dropping a pig's head, although it's hard to imagine you wouldn't know you've dropped it, isn't in itself a hate crime, and in my opinion couldn't be seen as one unless the person admits it. I mean, maybe it got dropped and the person who owned it thought, fuck it, I'm not eating it now, and just left it, which would be more of a fly-tipping offence than it would be a hate crime. I mean, the person who left it only has to say he left it for the police because they are pigs and police are not covered by protected characteristics. So again, no hate crime. Although I do think I've figured out why they're looking at it as a hate crime. Maybe the fact that Chief Inspector Deepak Kent is involved is the reason they've decided it should be a hate crime without any evidence of a hate crime. Reports were received by Avon and Somerset Police about the find at 11:09 AM on the 6th of November, yesterday. Police attended and found the head close to where it had been originally left in the alleyway, which is off Avon Vale Road between the junctions with Queen Anne Road and Beam Street. Chief Inspector Deepak Kent said, based on the information we have at this time, this incident is being treated as a hate crime and an investigation has been launched. Officers from the neighbourhood policing team are carrying out reassurance in the local community. There, we'll protect you from the pig's head, as well as working closely with our network of partner agencies and organisations. We don't yet know the precise time the head was left in the alleyway, but we believe it was sometime on Sunday morning. A thorough review of CCTV footage from around the area is underway, as well as a house-to-house and forensic-led inquiries as part of our ongoing efforts to identify the person or people responsible. House-to-house and forensics on a fucking pig's head. There is absolutely no place for hate or crude attempts to cause upset or division in our communities, he said. Now, in several reports I've read about this incident, there is nothing that suggests it's a hate crime. It's not mentioned that it was left on a mosque doorstep, or even if it was in an area, or even if there was one in the area. It's not mentioned if the area was a Muslim area and there wasn't a note stapled to the forehead being racist. Nothing at all to suggest it was a hate crime. Unusual, yes, but nothing to indicate anything other than that at the moment. Even Barton Hill Activity Club jumped on a bandwagon, tweeting, "Barton Hill residents woke up to this yesterday morning. It's very shocking to see this kind of hate crime and racism in 2022. The residents of Ecclestone House keep calling me, asking me if it's related to the fire that happened last month." Again, nothing to suggest it's a hate crime. Now, I'm not saying it's not a hate crime. I'm not making that supposition, but what I am saying is that based on the information available, which doesn't appear to suggest a hate crime, how can the incident be looked at as a hate crime? There has to be some kind of evidence that it was motivated by hostility towards a protected characteristic, and thus far there is zero evidence of that. It seems that the police have simply jumped on the hate wagon without any proof, maybe to help with their Home Office crime report statistics this month, or maybe due to their overwoke image to the public. I don't know. But simply finding a pig's head on its own with no other supporting evidence should be dealt with as fly tipping, or even littering. In fact, littering is a criminal offence if the litter has been dropped in a place where the public have a right of access, such as a publicly owned land or private land to which the public have access, such as a garage, forecourt or a footpath, and it is open, at least on one side, to the air. For example, if a person drops litter in a bus shelter, this would constitute an offence, but the same action would not constitute an offence if it was dropped in a phone box. Seeing as this was in an alleyway, then it's definitely a littering offence under that example, but I still can't see how this can be deemed to be a hate crime and require forensics and door-to-door. I'm sure someone will tell me what you think in the comments and explain to me why you think this could be a hate crime without evidence of one. I'd be happy to hear from you. To me, it seems like a complete waste of police time when they could be dealing with more serious incidents.